What do you do when you're at home or you're not able to get to a court and you want to get your game to the next level? Well, I've got a simple solution for you, and it's all about doing the right mobility exercises that can help your serve and the rest of your game. I've got 4 powerful concepts to share with you that's going to improve your mobility and your strength and make you a better tennis player.
Yeah. We're going to start today. I'm going to have you take off your right shoe.
Okay, right shoe today.
Yeah, right shoe first.
And actually, before we start, I got to mention something with the serve. You know, one of the things players do is when I try to help players with their technique, I want them to be able to push off and really thrust and use their feet. I also want them to be able to move aggressively, but a lot of players struggle with...
Make that move again for me.
Okay, like this move?
No, the serve.
The serve. Okay, so we're going to go with the serve, and I'm here.
So right here, that ankle's in a massive dorsiflexion. So we're going to start there. We're going to go with the foot, and then we're going to hit the ankle.
Because we're casted with by wearing shoes all day. The feet get totally stiff, and we want to be able to open up those feet, create more stability, and actually allow the foot to breathe so that you can push off the ground. So, as Jason mentioned, I'm going to take off my shoes and get comfortable.
Couple tools here. We can go tennis ball. You guys have a tennis ball. Let's start with the tennis ball.
All right.
Just work
Tennis
the bottom
ball is
of
the
the
easiest.
Foot. Yep. Go ahead and step on it for me. And kind of just roll around and explore. If you have any tight spots, let's spend a little extra time there.
And one thing that I notice is I feel some spots. You're going to feel spots if you haven't done this, and we're trying to improve soft tissue quality, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
We're going to seek and destroy. So 2 places in the foot commonly super tight. Right at the arch there. So let's go ahead and find that position. Mm-hmm. And then once you're there, go ahead and just flex and extend the toes. Let's get a little movement in the foot.
And again, you start with the tennis ball first because the tennis ball is a little softer. I know we can use some other balls as well.
Yeah,
why don't we?
As soon as you guys get past the tennis ball, we can move along to a cross ball. Jeff brought a softball as well.
Let's play with that one as well.
Let's go lacrosse.
Okay, lacrosse one. Right. This one's going to sting. So you mentioned the inside of the foot.
Yeah. So before we get to the corners, the 2 most common tight spots, let's just roll. Let's just roll the bottom of the foot.
So I actually have a trick, Jason. I learned this many years ago. We actually have a fascial line that goes from the feet all the way up, the back of the legs, all the way up to the top of the head. So if this is a trick that I know you know about, is a lot of people can't even touch their toes. But if you roll for 1 minute on the right foot and 1 minute on the left foot, I want you to test out your range of motion. I bet you get another 4 to 6 inches in range of motion just by releasing that fascial line.
Right, exactly. So let's find that tight spot. Go ahead and get on the inside of the arch first.
Go inside. So I'm inside of the arch. I'm going to move this ball here.
Let's flex and extend the toes. Let's go about 10 times on that one. Just nice and slow. Slow it down a little bit.
Oh, he's making me go slow here.
Feel that.
Okay.
All right. Now let's go ahead and move. Here's another common spot, this outside arch of the foot. Really curl those toes under. Make it work.
Yeah.
And then extend. Full range both ways. There you go.
Yeah.
That's it.
Great. And then let's just bring in the softball real quick.
Just to show you that.
Yeah. Now this softball is a lot higher. And what I like about it is you can actually feel a nice stretch in the calf when you do that.
Okay.
But, you know, again, we're talking about soft tissue quality. A lot of times people skip this step, but this is the thing that can really help with your ability to move and have power and reduce injury,
Your agility, your movement, your power transfer, all of it starts at the foot.
Lack of ankle mobility. What are some of the common problems that you see?
First thing is if someone lacks dorsiflexion, which is able to bend that knee, they have trouble with the serve. So they stand really upright. Their inability is to coil. So can you show that?
Yeah, so basically what we're looking at here is I'm able to coil on my serve because I have really good ankle mobility. But someone who doesn't, we might see what?
They might stand really tall. They get this big S curve here, no loading at all in the glute because of this lack of ankle dorsiflexion.
Right, this ankle just does not move. It's just stiff and rigid, so you're going to find other ways to move. And we notice that with the serve now. So when we're analyzing the serve and we want to get players to improve their technique, we've got to look at their body. So what's something we can do to make sure that ankle mobility improves?
We're going to work on dorsiflexion and plantar flexion.
Okay.
So with a couple tools at home, we're going to use a softball today. If anybody's got a foam roller, you can use that. So let's do the same thing. Go ahead and drop your racket.
Awesome.
Let's take your right shoe off again.
I'm gonna take both shoes off.
All right, let's do it.
I like to be balanced. I like to be comfy, and yeah, the softball is a great tool. I love that, and of course we're gonna use the foam roller as well.
So we'll start here for you guys. Let's go right leg. Okay. Same thing that we did in the first series with the foot. You're just kind of move back and forth, finding those tight spots on the calf. We want pliability in that tissue, so the more those muscles can expand and contract, you're going to have a better ability to move that ankle.
You know, Jason, a lot of people focus on strength training. They focus, even maybe someone focus on mobility or flexibility, but they don't spend enough time on soft tissue quality. Why is this going to help an athlete perform better by improving soft tissue quality?
Because we're utilizing the maximum ability of the muscle. When we get that muscle pliable, before your warm-up, before you play tennis, you're going to move and feel better. Should be number one, first thing you do before you play, before you practice, before you train in the gym. We want to get that tissue moving correctly.
Yeah, we want to get that blood flow. We want to improve the quality of the tissue so that it can move easier, so that you can get stronger and improve your mobility, right?
Exactly.
All right,
so go ahead and find a really tough spot like we did. Okay? And then from there, all I want you to do is plantar flex, which means go ahead and point this way as much as you can. Hold that in range for a second.
It's already cramping in the toes. I got some work to do there.
Exactly. All right, now go ahead and pull it back. That's dorsiflexion. And what we want to watch is go ahead and stay linear with that foot. Sometimes it'll move towards the inside or the outside. Let's go just linear with it, back and forth. Hold those in ranges a little bit longer.
Okay.
That's where you're going to be the weakest. And then go ahead and extend again.
Right. Let's actually show what it would look like with the foam roller.
Okay.
As well.
Cool. Let's do it. So I like this as a little bit higher prop. Number one thing on this is make sure you're not getting motion from the knee bending or the hip bending. So sometimes I'll take both hands, hold the shin, and now do the movement again. So let's go ahead and plantar flex again, point those toes, and pulling it back. Point those toes, and pull it back.
Yeah, this is a great exercise, again, to improve range of motion in the ankle. And by holding here, a lot of players, they're going to move from the knee, or even they're going to try to move their ankle by using their knee. And so you got to really lock that down.
Yep, exactly.
And this is so underrated. I had ankle injuries early in my career. I had an ankle surgery at age 24, and it really impacted my performance. I lost a couple years off the tour because of it. So don't ignore the ankles.
Yes. We didn't hit this anterior tissue up in front. Let's have you flip over. We're going to just roll right on that side of the shin, just right of that bone, the tibia.
Yeah, I mean, I feel some spots there again. We just don't.
That's hot for everybody.
Yeah, we don't spend enough attention on that. And so, we're focusing on the foam roller. We're focusing using a softball. You can even do this with a softball. So what I notice is that when players are serving and they get into this position, they have what's called an S curve.
Correct.
Like this. So talk to me a little bit about that, Jason.
Okay, we want the ability, so we don't want this big S curve. We're going to cause a lot of lower back pain with this. So we want a little more neutral. He's going to see, you can tell right away, he accessed his hips and glutes a little bit better, and that's what we want. That's where the power comes from. So a little simple test we learned at Racket Fit, little pelvic tilt.
Okay.
Go ahead and drop the racket.
All right.
Let's go athletic position. And right away I'm assessing, what's his spine do? He's nice and neutral, nice and athletic.
And a lot of players, they actually start in this position, right?
Yep.
And then they're not able to move into this position at all, right? They're just they're stuck.
Correct. So let's make that move. Tuck that tailbone under and tilt the other way. Good. And Jeff does a great job here, but a lot of times people are really unstable. Show them what a shake and bake would look like.
Okay, so basically I'm moving here and I'm doing a lot of shaking to get to that position.
And that's the lack of strength and motor control in that position.
Right. So if you can't control your pelvis, you're doomed.
Yeah,
you're going to get injured.
You're doomed. So let's do that again. A couple of those.
Most people can't even go here either, right?
To curve. Yep. And then go ahead and tuck that tailbone again. Perfect.
So we do that test, and then if you assess that someone can't move in either direction, how do we improve this pelvic movement or this pelvic function?
Sometimes we'll get tennis players that can't move at all. So we got to start really simple, get them on the floor, lie them face up. Let's go and try that.
Okay.
So in that position, he's going to do exactly the same thing. He's just going to go ahead and extend
So I'm basically creating an arch.
Create that arch, so I should be able to pass my hand underneath his back, and then go ahead and flatten it out. So he's pushing his lower back into the ground. Okay, a couple more of those. Super simple. And one more.
Remember to breathe.
Yeah. Couple more. Okay, that's perfect. Cool. And the next one, I go and flip over, Jeff. This would be a progression to that first movement. He's going to go on all fours, hands beneath the armpits, knees stacked right underneath the hips, and then we're going to make movement here. And a lot of times people can't move here, so they're using here. Okay, so let's go ahead and get stable here. Okay, and then nice and smooth. Go ahead and give me some movement here. Go ahead and tuck that tailbone under. Yep. And rotate. Go back and forth. And rotate. Let's quiet this down a little bit and go ahead and give me some motion from here. There you go.
So you might need to get someone to cue you if you're not able to move like this. And the reason that you're not serving well, one big reason, is probably because you lack thoracic mobility. Talk a little bit more about that.
And the reason why they have low back pain is the inability to extend from the thoracic. So we're going to go over some drills today, loosen up this area, show them real quick what if that's incorrect, you're not able to extend through the thoracic, show them what it looks like with the serve.
Yeah, so basically what we're teaching at Racket Fit, and again, Jason is Racket Fit certified, I'm a Racket Fit instructor, we are changing the game with injury prevention and performance. Is when I analyze serves, I see a lot of players get into a position like
really
this.
Flat here. Yep.
Really flat. And if you want to have a great kick serve or topspin serve, you've got to develop your thoracic. So your thoracic spine, get some mobility. So when I get here,
we're looking for that extension right here. All overhead athletes, if you're not able to extend, there's no power coming from that shoulder.
Right. And so if you also struggle with your racket drop, that there's probably a good chance that you're not able to move from the mid-back.
Which lacks the ability to rotate from the shoulder.
Yeah. So Jason, we are going to show some very simple exercises that you can use with a foam roller to improve that thoracic mobility so that you can hit better serves and get more power into your ground strokes.
All right, set that tennis racket down. Let's grab our foam roller. Here's what I want you to do. Go ahead and lie on your back for me. We're going to set this right in the middle of your back. Okay, go ahead and lay back for me. And then with your elbows up, let's say right in front of the chest, I want you to just roll back and forth. And let your body just drape over that foam roller. Just feel that chest open up, back expands.
So why is this going to help me with my thoracic mobility? What's happening here?
What you're doing is you're just loosening up that spine, putting it into an extension. So if you have trouble, I'll have some athletes, they'll get down here, it's killing them.
They're like this.
They can't even, there's no mobility whatsoever in the spine. So the ability to just even relax on here is difficult for some people.
And inhaling and exhaling is really important too, right?
Yeah,
breathing.
So let's keep the hands a little closer. That'll create some space between the scapulas. That's where that movement needs to happen.
Okay.
About 10 times.
And we're improving soft tissue quality when we do this, so the tissue gets softer, more supple, and it can move, right?
Exactly, exactly. All right, from here, let's go ahead and just drop the hips down. Let's bring the hands a little closer.
Okay.
And then I want the foam roller a little lower.
Okay.
So we want right here.
So not all the way to the low back, but we're moving in that direction.
I'd say right between the lower parts of the shoulder blades.
Okay.
And then from there, all I want you to do is go ahead and extend back.
Nice.
That foam roller is going to help you. Yep. And
now, I'm really good. I'm pretty good at this, and that's one reason I can still serve big at 45 years old. Many players struggle with being able to arch back like this. And again, you don't want it to come from the low back. You want it to come from the mid-back.
Exactly. Okay, let's get about 2 more of those. Good. You have great thoracic extension.
I love getting those compliments from my performance coach.
Couple more. Good. Good breath work. And last one. Awesome.
I love it.
Let's keep it really simple with that drill.
Yeah. So, again, these are simple exercises that you can do right away. I mean, this is something you can do that can take your performance to the next level.
If you work on those 4 areas of your body, you can absolutely transform your tennis game. The next time you get on the court, you're going to improve your serve and the rest of your game when you do these exercises and work on these concepts. Now, before you go, if you click the link in the description below or somewhere in this video, you can pick up a free instructional course. It's inside the Tennis Evolution app. All you have to do is click the link in the description below or somewhere in this video. See you later.